Here's a question for you. How quick is QuickBooks? Well, QuickBooks to me is by far one of the quickest forms of bookkeeping around. If you don't quite know what QuickBooks is for, well, it's designed to make sure that your business has always got real-time information of how it's going. And I think QuickBooks itself is as quick as it possibly can be, but only if you use it right. So in this video, we're going to look at some tips and tricks to make sure that you are using QuickBooks to the best of its ability. Let's see how quick QuickBooks really is. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks chap on the internet, head of accounts at Boffix, and also your friendly podcast host. It goes live 8:30 a.m. for a podcast called Ask the Accountant, which is designed directly for you. Now, being called the QuickBooks chap means that I do have some bias towards QuickBooks itself. But why do I have that bias? Well, for me, it's because it's all in the name. QuickBooks really is, for me, the quickest way of doing your bookkeeping. But you do need to be able to use all of the features within QuickBooks to be able to make it that way. So let's go straight into a few tips and tricks on how to make sure that you are making QuickBooks as quick as it possibly can be. Let's go. Now, this first one's an absolute must. Either you need to be generating your sales directly in QuickBooks, or you need to connect your sales so that it goes directly into QuickBooks automatically. Let me show you what I mean. Now, if you're a business who sends invoice, I think you should be using QuickBooks to be sending those invoices. Now, if you send your invoices by QuickBooks, you get a few great features. First of all, when I press new invoice just here, I get the opportunity to customize it to my heart's content, send it directly to the customer from within here, which also means that when I've sent it through here, I get a great audit trail. I know when the customer's read the invoice, I know when the customer's looked at it, and that's going to make sure that I'm on top of what's going on with the customer. And if they're a bit of a slow payer, I can then chase them up and explain to them that I know they've already read the invoice. But also, it gives you loads of functions for making it easy to get paid in the first place. I've got the option to accept card payments at the top here, or even get set up with a direct debit solution so that every time I send an invoice out, I'm already getting that money getting taken from the client's bank account. Furthermore, using those solutions, when the client pays, it'll automatically update to let me know that that customer has been paid on time. I can crack on with the service or product they need. Now, if you're a business who doesn't send invoices though, then do make sure that you do things like connect your card reader directly to QuickBooks. If you've got a till system that can connect to QuickBooks, get it connected straight away. If you're using e-commerce platforms like eBay and Amazon, for example, use the App Store to get them connected. I've got plenty of videos on exactly how to do that, but you want to be getting all your income directly into QuickBooks automatically. So A, you can make great business decisions, and B, that's how you're going to speed up using QuickBooks. The next one is all about banking. Now, my personal favorite bit about QuickBooks is how you can connect the bank account. Using this link button at the top here means that you can find the bank that works for you, use the on-screen instructions, and go through and complete that bank connection. When that happens, you'll find that all the transactions automatically come into QuickBooks like they have done here. That way I can see that PayPal, for example, have paid me 99p just there, and I can go through and account for what that relates to. Using the bank feed means that the date, the amount, the description are automatically fed to me. And that means I don't have to waste time putting that information into QuickBooks. I can be confident it's correct, and I can make sure it's nice and quick and easy to get that information in. This works for both income and expenses. The next tip is about maximizing that bank connection, and it's all about using things like rules. As you can see here, I've got loads of rules appearing, and what that means is that when QuickBooks sees something in your bank account, it then knows what to do with it. You can even take it a step further. Currently, I've left it so that I can then go and make sure I'm happy with that rule and make sure I can add it. But you can even use auto add. And what auto add means that the second it hits your bank account, that transaction will be accounted for accordingly. Imagine every time you have a BT payment go out of your bank account, you have a rule automatically set that when it sees a BT payment, put it to telephone and automatically add it. That way, you're always going to make sure that that crucial information is going straight into QuickBooks Online. Next one is using the receipts feature just here. You can see here that I've already gone through and I've used my mobile phone, got the QuickBooks app, taken a photo of a receipt, and I've brought it in here. QuickBooks is going to do two things. First of all, it's going to read that transaction. Look how terrible this receipt actually is. But QuickBooks was able to notice that it was for £58.40 and it was for this date over here. What it then does is it takes that information and it tries to find the transaction. It's found that transaction, and because the transaction is already in QuickBooks, it's going to let me match it accordingly. Matching basically means it's going to attach this transaction here. Matching basically means it's going to attach this receipt here directly to the transaction. And that means if I ever have a query on that receipt or query on that problem, I've got a receipt for it there that I can see straight away, making my life so much easier. If though QuickBooks hasn't seen that transaction before, is unable to match it with something, then it's going to take that information, the date, the amount, and it's going to give you an opportunity to create the transaction there. Again, you've eliminated needing to put the date and the amount in. All you've got to do is make sure QuickBooks has assigned the right category and you're off to the races. How much quicker is that than having to type in each and individual receipt as you go along? And all you need to do is make sure you've got your mobile app installed, grab the receipt, take a photo of it, get yourself disciplined, and you'll be off to the races. Speaking of that mobile app, in the mobile app itself, you do have the option to use mileage tracking. And that could be a great way to not only save yourself some tax, but make that actually a really easy way of doing it. It uses GPS solution within your mobile phone, and it notices every time you make a trip. Then all you've got to do is tell QuickBooks, is that a business trip or a private trip? And better yet, if you're constantly making the same business trip, you can set a rule in place that every time you go to the post office, for example, that's a business trip you want to record. That way you're speeding up and making sure you include that all-important mileage expense. And finally, to keep QuickBooks super quick, use the AI that's built directly in. QuickBooks is huge on AI and it's only going to get better, but it's been doing and using AI for a long time now. And within your VAT section, you have an option to error check your return. What that's going to do is QuickBooks is going to look at the return and find any mistakes you may have made, speeding up your process and, crucially, making sure it's accurate as well. With this sort of innovation, you're going to be able to go through and find common errors within your workings and be able to make sure you've got the right tools in place to be able to fix them straight away. This not only speeds things up, but gets it confident and right first time, which, if you get it right first time and you don't have to go back and amend it, is a very quick and easy way to make things far more efficient for you and make QuickBooks truly quick. What do you think though? Have I missed anything? Let me know in the comments below if there's anything else that you use within QuickBooks that really does speed up your time. Then I can go out there and make a follow-up video to this one, letting people know what you, the community, are being able to make sure that QuickBooks is as quick as it possibly can be. My name's been Patrick. This video has been an absolute pleasure to do for you. Hopefully this video has given you some inspiration and shown you how quick QuickBooks actually is. If you are interested in QuickBooks, head over to our Boffix e-store where we get you a discounted version of QuickBooks. Make sure you're not overpaying for something that is going to be as quick as it possibly can be. My name's been Patrick. As I've said, this video has been a pleasure and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.